Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm gonna deck profile my Heatsoul control deck, and I managed to get top 4 locals with this deck. I just struggle against Flunder and Zombie World, which has been coming up a lot at locals, unfortunately. So I'm probably gonna stop playing this deck because it's not fun going against Zombie World with this. So jumping into the deck, currently there's 2 debugs. I am probably playing 3. There's a couple cards I would like to cut in the future if I play this deck again. This card is an amazing normal summon since it can get you a 1-card Heatsoul, or if you have extenders, you can get the transcode Heatsoul if you're not afraid of nib game 1 just for that extra oomph. Then I play 2 Cyber's Gadgets. This card I'm also contemplating going 3 of because it's also a 1-card Heatsoul, which is really cool. And it doesn't hurt as bad if you get like hand trapped on this one. Then playing 2 microcoders. I also kind of want to play 3. I was like in between this and 3 generators, but maybe I just play more just so I can consistently see cards. Because I've had a couple hands today already where it was just like all hand traps and going second cards or back row, and it's just like I can't play the game. So having more chances to get starters would be nice. Then 1 conflict, the primary search target of Coder. I was trying cross wipe. I didn't really care for it as much, so it was nice to be able to search for a main deck out for certain cards. But Zombie Road still just says no under the cross wipe, so feels bad. Then our secondary searcher is assigned at mining. This is also just to get our combo started. The discard 1 doesn't feel so bad because this deck just gets a whole lot of draws thanks to Heatsoul and like your code generator and all that good stuff. Like you just get a good amount of value out of your deck. So discard 1's not so bad. Then currently I'm playing 3 generators since this card plus any normal summon can effectively turn into the Heatsoul since you just dump Dotscaper and Dotscaper sums itself back and you just get to go link climb from there. Then I also play a code exporter as a one of as another way to link from hand, and it does come up sometimes. Like if you have to normal summon like code or micro, then you use exporter as your other material, and then you can add back the one in the graveyard and then use the hand effect of the code or micro to get even more link climbs up, which is another cool thing you can do. Then I play 1 Gachiri Adagnister for an extender plus making cards towers. It actually came up today where I just had the perfect hand to play around Nib, where I had the normal summon monster plus the search into the Cyber's converter, and then you made like Splash Mage, not Splash Mage, Update Jammer, then I summoned the Gachiri link with the update plus micro and code generator in hand just to make the access code that can attack twice, and it's a tower, so they did actually have the nib, so they got very sad when that happened. Then last extender is the addition. This card is kind of nice because it can make your access codes bigger, or you can make your Heatsoul or something 33 to get over stuff, or if you have stuff pointing it to even more. And then lastly, we're playing a Monster Reborn as our last extender, since overall it can get you back anything you need, which is really cool. Then 1 called by to say no to hand traps, or just graveyard effects. Then triple Ash, triple Veiler, triple Imperm, and 1 bell. This bell is technically in the slot where my 3rd debug was. It was coming in the mail, that's why it's not in here, and I've just been waiting for it. It's been, I think, 10 days now, which is unfortunate. But yeah, that's that. It's also kind of cheeky with like the Veilers and the bell and stuff, is you can use the Cyber's Gadgets normal summon effect if you go second, so you can get more cards or even like Veiler bait or something, which is kind of cool. Then I play 2 talents. I am still iffy on this card, mostly because my locals doesn't seem to be running the most hand traps, like, you know, the all gas Despia build and stuff, or they're just not drawing against me and it just kind of ends up being a dead card, so it feels really sad. I only resolved this card like once out of like 6 rounds. Not the greatest card, might play more extenders or starters in this slot as well. Gets sided out a lot. 3 rivalries as a floodgate. This deck is all cybers, why not? You can just get free wins in some matchups, or you can just kind of break on it like in Plunder. Feels sad, but it is what it is. Just depends on your locals or what you end up playing against that day. Play 3 droplets. You can afford the discards. Heatsoul gets you back card advantage. It's not so bad to pitch, and it helps you go second against established boards. Since your normal summon is probably the most important thing in the deck, you kind of want to see if you can protect it. Then 2 Cyclones to hit back row. Like those main phase only back rows, kind of relevant. Also, just going second, it'll hit those pesky annoying cards like Branded Lost or something. You know, any of those continuous or field spells that could occur. And going into the extra deck now, we have the 1 Almirage for our normal summon plays. I've done several times where I had to normal summon like a hand trap and then make Almirage and then just go off from there since it's a Cybers monster. 1 Lingeribo, outs pesky back row decks or the Evenlies going into those matchups. Link Spider in case you get nibbed or for your Cybers token or anything along those lines. 1 Code Talker, I like to play it because its summon condition is to affect monsters, which is very relevant, where you can just normal summon, hand trap, and then Link will climb into this or something, or if you don't want to waste an Almirage yet, or to keep your summons under a certain amount. Then 1 Code Talker inverted, another extender, also Code Talker, so you Link climb with it. Its effect rarely comes up for me, but it can happen where you can summon a Cybers monster from your hand that it points to when it's special summoned by a Link summon. Then double splash, 1 for the main combo if you have to do it, and 1 for the follow-up is usually what it ends up being. Then the update jammer to make fat access codes and stuff. Then Security Dragon, never use it, but it's kind of there. It's nice just to have in that utility situations where it might come up, but I've never had a situation yet where I could use it. The 1 Heatsoul, since this deck is Heatsoul Turbo, you only really need 1 since you play like Transcode, and Transcode gets it back. And as I mentioned, the Transcodes, very good card. Ideally, you'd like to end on like Transcode with Heatsoul co-linked. Otherwise, it's just nice to link climb with. Then I play 2 access codes. It's come up a few times already. Like the first one just got like fused away on my turn. And then I managed to have the resources to make the second access code and kill them. Or I also had a situation where I couldn't get to update jammer for games, so I ended up just hard making 2 access codes, which is effectively the same thing. Having the access code at 2 has been pretty relevant. If you can afford it, I would say do it. But otherwise, you can just try playing something else, like another Heatsoul or something, or you can play like the S-Force Link 3 that you can tag into with Heatsoul. Then, lastly, 1 Firewall Dragon in case you get there and you have the resources. And the fact that it just is generic in the sense of its materials can be relevant, like if you get Zombie Worlded or something, it can effectively be an out. If you get Nib Token or something too, you can just use that as materials. So there's a lot of ways it can come up. Rarely comes up, but it's just nice as an option to have. Last but not least, our side deck. For my locals, I am playing triple anti-spell. Since his spell decks are very popular here. I play 3 Graves of the Ancient Organism. I have a lot of matchups where this card is live, and it's not bad as a board breaker going second either. 2 D barriers for the other matchups to shut them out of their summon mechanics. Back row hate of Reboot Duster. Then I play triple Droll. For all those matchups, Droll is good in. And double Lancia for like Flunder mostly, but there are some other matchups where it can be decent in. And that is the entire deck. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.